Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Nort, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I am going to be doing something slightly different, because instead of looking at secrets or tips or tricks, we're actually going to be sitting down and taking a look at exactly how much GTA 5 has changed since October 2013 when online mode was officially released. And this game is 3 years old, and as many of you guys may know, whether you've played it for a week, a month, a year, or even 3 years, GTA Online, GTA 5 has changed a lot. And it's only until we sit down and take a look at all of the DLCs, all of the updates, everything which has changed in GTA 5, until we can really understand exactly which direction the game is heading in, and just have that amazing nostalgic feeling. So today, we're all going to share the same feeling. I hope everyone enjoys the video. If you do, why not drop a thumbs up on it, as it would be very much appreciated. But let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into things. So this article was written by Yan2295. I will leave a link in the description below. It's where I'm getting all of my information from. Yan2295 has put a lot of effort and work into this article. So once again, if you guys want to go and check it out, drop a like on the article like I have. You guys can do so. I will leave a link to it in the description below. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto Online starts in October 2013, and after a few patches fixing bugs here and there, we finally saw the first ever DLC on November the 19th, 2013. This was the Beach Bum DLC. This included 4 brand new vehicles, which was the BF Bifter, the Kalahari, the Paradise, and the Speeder, and we also got 2 brand new weapons. This was the SNS pistol and the Broken Bottle melee weapon. Now this was the dawn of free DLC content, because it was always speculated around that time on whether DLC content would be free or whether we would have to pay for it, and this was the dawn of free content, and this was of course the first ever DLC added into GTA Online. So shortly after that DLC, on December the 10th, 2013, so this wasn't even a month later, this was a few weeks later, we received the Content Creator. And this is now the famous content creator we have in GTA Online today, and the entire update, the entire purpose of this DLC was to simply add in the content creator. I remember back at the time when this was added in, loads of players in the community loved this, but tons of players were complaining there was no new vehicles or weapons or anything like that, which was kind of funny to look back at things, because this DLC came out a few weeks after the Beach Bum DLC, and players were already complaining that there were no vehicles or weapons in this. But looking back at it, content creator is a massive thing in GTA Online, and this is exactly when everything started. So that was quite a big DLC. Of course, it was also free as well. And shortly after that, we have the capture update. This came out once again 2 weeks later, December the 18th, 2013. This is a brand new game mode which was added to the game with this update, and no other content was yet again added. So this was back-to-back DLCs with no new content. It was simply just game modes and content creator. But yet again, guys, just 6 days later, we saw the Holiday Gifts DLC, December the 24th, 2013. And this was a temporary update which added some Christmas-themed clothing, and also snow was added to GTA Online for 1 day. This was Christmas Day. The clothing items were removed on January the 5th, 2014, and I remember this specifically. I was on holiday with my family and my relatives, and I actually brought my Xbox with me because I really wanted to play around in the snow, mess around, because it was a huge rumor around the time on whether we would see snow in Vinewood Hills after a leaked image emerged around the community. So I honestly bought my Xbox. I wanted to play on this, but after many attempts of trying to connect this up, we failed miserably, and I was gutted I couldn't play GTA Online on Christmas Day because I wasn't actually able to play in the snow, which was really gutting for me. And at the time, looking back at it, it was kind of sad, but on that day, I was gutted that I couldn't play that. But that was the first time we saw a seasonal DLC, which was of course the Holiday Gifts update, and of course in that we saw all of the Christmas clothing items which were removed on January the 5th, 2014. And next up, shortly after that, we had another seasonal DLC. This was the dawn of the Valentine's Day Massacre special. As many of you guys may know, this was an extremely popular DLC because this was one of the first ever themed updates which included vehicles and weapons as well. and it was also on for a time limit only. So during this week for Valentine's Day Massacre on February the 13th, there was a time limit on which you could purchase the brand new vehicles, which was the Roosevelt, as well as the brand new weapon, which was the Gunsenberg Sweeper. And I remember at the time, many players didn't realize this was a time limited DLC, so people were saving up for the Roosevelt. Once the DLC week ended, the Roosevelt disappeared from online, so only players who bought it previously could keep it, and also those who purchased the Gunsenberg Sweeper. That weapon, even though you kept it, you couldn't purchase ammo for it once the DLC had ended. So I remember tons of players getting really confused about what was going on in online at the time, but Rockstar Games soon fixed that up a few days later on in just a random post on their social club. Okay, so shortly after that, on March the 4th, the very next month, we received the business update. This is debatably one of the first updates in the whole High Life era. And as many of you guys may know, loads of DLCs we see today include some of the most luxurious vehicles in GTA Online, and the business update is arguably the dawn of all of that. So in this business update, which came on March the 4th, 2014, we received 4 brand new vehicles, which was the Alpha, the Jester, the Turismo R, and the Vestra. In addition, we also received 2 weapons, the Heavy Pistol and the Special Carbine. And like I said, this appears to be the dawn of the luxurious High Life DLCs. So next up we had the Capture Creator, which came on April the 8th, 2014, the very next month. And this included the capture mode into Content Creator and only the capture mode into Content Creator. Okay, so next up we have the High Life update, the next addition to the business DLC, in my opinion, and this update added new apartments, which were the brand new apartment interiors, if you guys remember, and also in addition we received 4 brand new vehicles, which was the Huntley S, the Massacre, the Zentorno, and the Thrust. Furthermore, we received 1 brand new weapon, the Bullpup Rifle, and this is where prices start to spike up a tiny bit. We had the Zentorno, we had the Massacre, we had the Huntley S, and also the brand new apartment interiors, which of course were luxurious apartments. You guys can check them out as well. It's kind of like the secondary interior when purchasing apartments. I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys know what interior that is, but this is when we saw the first ever new or different interiors for apartments, so this was a massive thing at the time. So next up we have the I'm Not a Hipster update, which came on June the 17th, which was the very next month once again. This was a surprise DLC, however. The I'm Not a Hipster DLC was not expected. It was one of the first DLCs and one of the few DLCs Rockstar Games just threw out at us on our laps before leakers or modders could even get near this DLC and start finding out information about this. So this surprise DLC actually included tons of new vehicles. Some vehicles which you guys will still use in GTA Online today. We saw 7 brand new vehicles, the Pagani, the Blade, the Rhapsody, the Warrener, the Glendale, the Panto, and the Dubster 6x6. We also had 2 brand new weapons. This included the melee weapon, the Antique Cavalry Dagger. In addition, we also saw the Vintage Pistol as well. And then shortly after that, on July the 1st, 2014, we had the Independence Day Special, the very next month. In fact, 2 weeks later, the Independence Day Special came out. I remember I was in college at the time, and I was just finishing off a project or something. I was seeing my friends live stream this, and I was eager to get home on this day. But this actually included a time-limited DLC, including 2 brand new vehicles, the Dawn of the Liberator and the Sovereign, as well as the Dawn of the Musket and the firework launcher. And we also saw fireworks as well added into online, and beer hats and other patriotic things like clothing items. This was the first ever time we saw these vehicles added into online, and all of the patriotic items as well. So this is where it came from, July the 1st, 2014. So this stuff has been in the game for over 2 years, but because it was a time-limited update, it was never permanently added into stores, and only recently it's now been permanently added into stores for you to buy. Okay, so next up, the very next month, we have the San Andreas Flight School update. This was on August the 19th, 2014. This update added a flight school into GTA Online. Anyway, this update wasn't really the most popular one. It pretty much died on the exact day, and I remember the trailer actually got into a lot of trouble with legal issues because it was advertising stuff which weren't included in the Flight School update. Anyway, this included 4 new vehicles, the Coquette Classic, the Swift, the Bessera, and the Miljet, and aside from that, we also received Flight School lessons, which once again pretty much died on the day, and I remember this wasn't really the most popular DLC. Anyway, next up, this DLC was the first one we saw which didn't come out the very next month, and this was called the Last Team Standing Update. This came out on October the 2nd, 2014, and this included 3 brand new vehicles, the Furo GT, as well as the Hakuchu and the Innovation. We also had 2 brand new weapons, the Heavy Shotgun and the Marksman Rifle. And we also had the Last Team Standing game mode was added into Creator, so this game mode was added into Content Creator for us to play around with. Okay, so next up, once again, another 2-month wait until the next DLC, and this was called Festive Surprise. This is the relapse of the other DLC we saw last year, in which we received clothing items and other stuff like that, but this came out on December the 18th, 2014, and this included 4 brand new vehicles, the Rat Truck, the Slam Van, the Massacre race car, and the Jester race car. Furthermore, we received 2 brand new weapons, the Proximity Mines and the Homing Launcher. This was the dawn of the Homing Launcher, and of course this included snow, and all of the festive items from 2013 were re-added into GTA 5 in 2014. Do remember around this time was also the same time next generation GTA 5 came out, so having this relapsed in GTA 5 gave us the opportunity to just see exactly what snow looked like and other things looked like in next generation consoles. Okay, so this is the longest wait we saw for another DLC. Between December the 18th and March, there were no DLCs. In fact, March the 10th, 2015 was the next DLC, and as many of you guys may have guessed this was the Heist DLC, the one many players had been waiting for. Heist came out on March the 10th, 2015. This update added the long-awaited Heist missions into GTA Online, as well as the now famous adversary modes. At the time, there weren't many adversary modes, but now we have tons of them. So this is where adversary modes came from. They were first added in with the Heist update. In this update, we also saw 15 new vehicles. This was the Gang Burrito, the Kuruma Armored, the Guardian, the Casco, the Insurgent, and the Insurgent Pickup, the Karin Technical, the Mule Armored, the Enduro, the Electro, the Valkyrie, the Savage, the Velum 5-seater, and of course, the Hydra. The Hydra was actually a cut vehicle from GTA Online, so seeing this added into GTA Online with the Heist DLC was a huge fan favorite. And of course, this is where the flare gun came from, the Heist update, because this was the only weapon added in with this DLC. So anyway, a few months later, come June the 10th, 2015, this is where we saw the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 DLC, June the 10th, 2015. This was yet again another dawn of luxurious content, expensive things, expensive stuff, and just a lot of money. This is where things got expensive. June the 10th, 2015, we saw 6 brand new vehicles, the Osiris, the Windsor, the Virgo, the Sterling GT, the Gold Luxor, and the Gold Swift. And this also included the Combat PDW. And the very next month, we received the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 2. This was coming out on July the 8th, 2015, and this is the last update that players on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 received. This included 6 brand new vehicles. This was the dawn of the infamous T20, as well as the Chino, the Coquette Blackfin, the Brawler, the Vindicator, and the Toro. We also saw 2 brand new weapons, which was the Knuckle Dusters and the Marksman Pistol, and this is really interesting because I didn't think the T20 was only a year old. I thought it was way older than that, but it's only really a year old when you look back at things, just over a year old, considering the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 2 came out just over a year ago. Anyway, next up, this is the first ever update exclusive to next generation consoles, and this was the Free Mode Events update. Come September the 15th, 2015, this update introduced Free Mode Events as well as the Rockstar Editor on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And just after that, on October the 20th, 2015, this was the Lowriders DLC, and this is where we could start customizing things in Benny's original Motorworks. This included 2 brand new vehicles, the Faction and the Moonbeam, as well as a variety of existing vehicles which we could re-customize in the new Benny's original Motorworks. This also included 2 brand new weapons, the Machine Pistol and the Machete. And next up, we had the Halloween Surprise DLC, October the 29th, 2015. This was 9 days after the Lowriders update, which is crazy. Anyway, the Halloween Surprise update came out 9 days later, a time-limited DLC which included several new masks and the Slasher Adversary mode, which was one of the best adversary modes to date. This also included the Frankenstarch vehicle, as well as the Lurcher, as well as another weapon, which was the Flashlight. This was used in the adversary mode Slasher, and of course was also used in GTA Online. Okay, so next up, this is once again another luxurious DLC, the Executives and Other Criminals update, coming out December the 15th, 2015. This update added in the yachts, the VIP features, new free mode events and challenges, and the stilt houses and new apartments. So this was a huge DLC. I believe the price of it was about $20 million in-game cash. It pretty much matched the exact price of the Ill-Gotten Gains DLC Part 1, which is crazy. In addition, we also had 11 new vehicles, the turreted limo, the Shafter LWB, the Shafter V12, the Nightshade, the Mamba, the Valera, the Cognoscenti 55, the Bulla LE, the Bulla LWB, the Super Velito, and also 2 brand new weapons, the Heavy Revolver and the Switchblade. So this was a massive DLC, one of the biggest DLCs since the Heist update. And shortly after that, just a week afterwards, we had the Festive Surprise update, December the 21st, 2015. This was yet again another time-limited update. Snow was present in GTA Online for a few days around Christmas and the New Year. So unlike having snow just on one day, like previous years, we had it for multiple days, which was really nice of Rockstar Games because it allowed more players to experience snow in GTA Online. And of course, this DLC was no surprise to GTA Online, considering we've had this every single Christmas, so it was just nice to see Rockstar Games re-add this stuff into GTA Online. Okay, so next up we have the January 2016 update to January the 28th, 2016. This update added the brand new Drop Zone Adversary mode and the possibility to customize the Sultan and Banshee at Benny's. We also had the Be My Valentine on February the 10th, 2016, which included the Roosevelt Valor permanently into GTA Online, which we didn't have last time. Next up, we had the Lowriders Customs Classic DLC, which came out on March the 15th, 2016. This included the Sumo Adversary mode, as well as 2 brand new vehicles, the Virgo Classic and the Faction Donk, as well as new custom versions of the existing vehicles, 2 brand new weapons, the Double Barrel Shotgun and the Compact Rifle. Shortly after that, we had the next addition to the Executives and Other Criminals DLC, which was of course the Further Adventures in Finance and Felony. This was on June the 7th, yet again a massive DLC, revolutionized GTA Online, and this update added the CEO features, as well as the offices and the warehouses, as well as 10 brand new vehicles. This was the Benefactor XLS, the FMJ, the Reaper, the Windsor Drop, the Bestia GTS, the Rumpo Custom, the Brigade, the Nimbus, the Volatus, and the Tug. And last but not least, come July the 12th, just last month, we had the Cunning Stunt DLC. This included 15 brand new vehicles, which is crazy. We haven't seen that many vehicles in an update for a very long time, as well as stunt races, which have been long awaited in GTA Online, as well as many other crazy things and changes, premium races, other things like that. Furthermore, on August the 2nd, we had the ability to introduce stunt races into the content creator, which allowed many members in the community to create their own stunt races. So what does this all add up to, guys? Well, put it into this perspective. We've had 27 free content updates in the space of 3 years. We've also had 115 new vehicles, 23 brand new weapons, and countless of new game modes and features. It's pretty crazy to see exactly how much GTA Online has changed over the years, and it only just changes when you step back and take a look at everything and realize exactly what the game was and what it is now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't leave without smashing that like button. It took a very long time to create and edit this video, but more importantly, go and check out Yan2295. He wrote an article on everything about this. I will leave a link to that in the description below. But guys, aside from that, if you did enjoy, subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any more content just like this. Anyway guys, my name is Nort, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.